Okay, this is a good one. This is important. See, what if you can't calm your mind? What if you have like this isn't so rare either. What if you have certain neurological disorders, nervous system imbalances, mental health, issues, etc. Those things are deeply tied into the function of the nervous system. The nervous system is deeply tied in to the mind and its levels of activity. So what are you going to do? See, because that's the situation for a lot of people. Severe anxiety or bipolar, schizophrenia or Tourette's or OCD. They're all, there's millions of labels, but it's all really, in essence, the same thing. It's a nervous system disorder or chronic pain. There's some people with chronic pain that's so bad. How are you gonna this woman had nerve pain. She says it's like 1,000 bees stinging me. How are you gonna not? What do you think? How are you gonna not think about that? You're gonna wish it's gonna go away. You're gonna be thinking about that. You're gonna non-dual that away. That's why I see these non-duals that they don't know. They don't know what life can do. They don't know the situations and certain karma people have. They're a bit naive, because there's some heavy stuff. There's some heavy stuff out there. So what can you do? Does that mean that you can't awaken now because you have your mind's active, your mind's busy? I'll say this: these situations will burn up self-will and ego and karma on a level that nothing else will. This is high level elite special forces type situations that somehow the higher consciousness chose to experience before it came here. High level stuff. This will drive you to the core of your being. This is deep. You'll have some depth when you talk. And then you'll know the difference between when somebody's talking with depth and without. So then you'll hear the non-dual oaks. You'll be you don't judge them, but you're observing them. Something just knows. It's okay, he's not talking he has more experience. He needs to be more seasoned before, so then he can catch up with the words that he's saying, because something's not it's not flowing. But one with depth can know that. But if everybody's more on a superficial level, the teacher's on superficial level and the students are on superficial level, they don't know the difference. There's no contrast, But this is why a lot of people, they get upset with the whole, they call it New Age spirituality and etc. Because maybe they have some depth. They can just recognize yeah, there's nothing, these people are just talking, So these trying situations, they'll give you some depth. So can you awaken them? Well, you are awakening. It's not like, what did I say before? You're on an accelerated path now to awakening. What's awakening? Human self getting merged with your true nature. How does it get merged? How does the human self get merged? By ego getting burnt up, by the resistance, the identity and conditioning with this show, by that getting burnt up. Then you get merged. How does it get burnt up? By these kind of situations. It's fast track of getting burnt up. So number one, recognize that. There's no accidents. This isn't, the mind will label it as a negative thing, an unfortunate thing. And I definitely have compassion and empathy on a human level for what these beings experience physically and emotionally. Heavy stuff. But it's grace. Muji calls it acid grace. That's a good word for it. Because, like I said, it will burn up this subconscious karma that most people, they're not even aware of. They don't even know. They don't even recognize this ego because it's like too deep. But one that has went through those stages, you can see it in somebody. You can just see it. You can see it. These extenuating situations, they'll get that out. You see, they'll get that out because it drives you to your core. Now, so that's the first thing. Recognize that. Also, look, when a being is really in touch with their depth, the waves are coming. When somebody's in touch with their depth, they're gonna be on a human level, their expression is gonna be multifaceted. I wanted to touch on this because there's a lot of people in the spiritual realm, they're like a one-trick pony. It's like they give the same monotone, expression all the time. How you doing? Oh, that's nice. It's like they put on a mask and they like forgot to take it off, and they've been wearing it, I don't know, lifetimes. That's not that's an act. And again, if you're sensitive, you can feel that. You almost like want to slap them. You're like, just bring something. Like, what are you doing? I like rather hang out with this tree. It's more real, So, why? Because they haven't hit that core bottom yet. They haven't reached that level. They will. Life will administer certain situations that will drive us to the core, to where all this suppression, subconscious things that we're holding on to, playing roles, all that gets burnt out. But the average person, man, it's so deep. Those things are so deep. So let life do its thing. Trust it. Trust whatever it's prescribing to you right now. It's best for your awakening. So what do you do if you got a busy mind? I had to give the background though first. If you have a busy mind due to these involuntary, uncontrollable situations, number one, you realize it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your mind is not who you are. The busyness of it's not who you are. The quietness of the mind's not who you are. The body, the aches, the pains, it's not who you are. It's not who you are. You somehow do this self-remembering in whenever you can remember. You're aware of this 3D game that's playing out in the spacious consciousness that you are. You're aware of that, obviously. And don't let the mind play that card that says, if I was more spiritual, I wouldn't have this pain or situation. This is worse. This has made people stay in hell for a lot longer than they need to. This human show, your situation is not your business. You give that up, you surrender it. Forget about being so obsessively, obsessed with awakening and you're you have a body mind that's it seems not conducive for awakening. That's a big trap. Don't fall into that. You stay chill. You surrender your desire to awaken, basically. And then it's this higher power, your own deepest God essence power can start doing some miracles. It might start guiding you on if there's some kind of thing that might be able to help balance the bodies a little bit. Or it might just give you some intuitive perception, some shift. It will break the identity you have with this body on some level. So then in exchange, your symptoms are going to go down anyway because the identity is not there that's fueling it. But that stuff, those gifts only happen when we stop trying to manage and control things. We have to surrender our life up. You recognize who you are beyond mind. Even if your mind's chattering, oh man, I can't That's all I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about like my mind keeps pulled into emotions and body and imbalances. Like, how can I awaken if that's happening? Because see, I can make another video saying, I probably will, the importance of a calm mind. So I'm telling you in this video, don't worry about it if you can't have a calm mind right now. But then I can make another video saying it's important to have a calm mind. When the mind's more calm, there's less agitations, then the consciousness can reflect on itself more because it doesn't have the intrusive, obstructive waves of thoughts that's like seemingly holding the consciousness hostage. You see? If the consciousness isn't being held hostage, then it can like recognize itself. But if it has a gun on it, do this, then its consciousness is like paying attention to the gun, so it can't reflect on itself. Like my analogies? So, am I saying then, look, is it important to have a calm mind? Yeah. Are you screwed if you don't have a calm mind? No. That's what I'm trying to say. It's your dharma and karma and your situation, whatever it is. There's always a way. There's always a way. God's running this show. There's a way. You have to listen to see what the way is. You can recognize who you are beyond the level of mind chattering or not chattering. That's what I'm trying to say. When the mind's doing its thing and you're stuck in whatever imbalance or pain, be aware that, number one, surrender to it. Okay, this is the moment. It's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but okay, it's cool that it's not cool. This is what it is. Oh man, I got taken over so bad by it. No, it's okay. It's okay. You trust that this situation was prescribed to you, and it's burning up karma on a level in resistance that you can't imagine. You trust that, okay? And you recognize that there's still something that's not touched by that. That's the whole thing. Like, your pure self doesn't have these imbalances. It's not trying to awaken. So what difference does it make if the human self has some recognition or experience or realization of its true nature? What difference does it really make? See, ponder that question. I'll tell you the difference it makes is that then your experience in this human form is nicer. It's somehow, it's not so painful. It's like if I put the VR equipment on and the Onyx, the VR equipment, and then I'm riding this roller coaster and I'm getting sick and dizzy and I'm like gonna fall down. And then I take it off and I put another one on where I'm in nature and the birds are chirping. Oh, that's nicer, isn't it? Same. It's still virtual reality though. It's still not real. Same thing. We're suffering with certain elements, extenuating situations, a busy mind. Okay. That's one expression of the VR, cosmic VR. Another expression of the cosmic VR, I'm living in nature and I have my ashram and people love me and I have a nice girl and okay, still not real. Neither one's real. So what difference does it really make? Look at it like that. That takes this pressure off and this edge off of like thinking the mind wants to, it has this projection of how it wants its life to be, and if your life's not measuring up to its projection, then you suffer. Give up the projections. The life is what it is right now. That's what it is. Okay, so relax, because you can't do nothing about anything anyway. And if you feel you can do something about something, it's still God doing it for you. Remember, the show runs itself. You surrender as best as you can and I promise you it's going to pass. This is the thing. We can't, what do they say? You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel? Yeah. because we judge it and say, well, it's been like this for 30 years. Like, well, okay. Still, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Pass through this stage. You're going to be very happy afterwards. Because you will have done, it's almost like you've concentrated lifetimes of like work into one short life. You're like powering through it, whereas others, they've spread it out over a period of lifetimes. So when this karma gets burnt, when this resistance gets burnt, you never have to experience that again. I think it was Emmett Fox that said, you cannot lose anything that you gain in consciousness. You can lose money and girls and relationships and jewelry, I don't know, cars. You can lose all that, but you can't lose what you gain in consciousness. So if you're in a trying situation, you're burning up resistance on a level that's an auspicious thing. That's what I'm trying to say. You trust this process, and let me know if you have any questions. I have another channel, Beyond the Alchemy, Semen Retention. If you're a guy, go check that out if you have problems in that area. You need that power and energy to make these words that I'm sharing, to make this actual. You have to do that, especially if you have nervous system disorders. You really need to preserve your sexual energy. And then I have a girl channel, Divine Femininity. These channels are in my channel homepage, so you're welcome to check them out. And then I do private consultations if somebody's moved to do that. The email's on my banner. Have a good day.